Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Bitcoin Made Simple podcast. I'm your host, Cory. I am sorry it has been a minute since I've been able to drop an episode, but I've been so busy. Yeah, as always, it's brought to you by the Bitbox O2 hardware wallet. Get yourself a Bitbox O2 hardware wallet. Go to bitbox.swiss/Bitcoin Made Simple and use promo code Bitcoin Made Simple to get 5% off your order. Take your coins off the exchange, please, people, for the love of all that is holy. Yeah, it's been a rough go. I think a lot of you guys know that my mother-in-law passed away, who I was very close with, and obviously my wife and kids were as well. And so it's been a month. It's been a month today. It was 1 month ago today. So it's been a month of adjusting. And it's, probably going to be a level of suck for a while before it gets any better. But, and of course, this weekend is Mother's Day, so that's going to be brutal. But that has been tough. And then amidst all of that, just to give you guys some personal news, I left Movies Plus. There were reasons, and I have my reasons, and yeah, I'm not really gonna share. But yeah, it was time, and it came about quickly, and unexpectedly, but it was time. And so I'm not at Movies Plus anymore, and I wish them all the best going forward. What am I going to focus on now? I don't know. Feel like a little bit of Michael Scott. Maybe I'll do a little bit of this. Maybe a little of that. Hey, ho. I'm gonna. What does he say? So I'm gonna sleep in all day and sleep in all night and stay up all day. But I have been trying to figure out over the last couple of weeks what it is I'm going to do next. And I think it's going to be Bitcoin related. Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. Bitcoin mining in particular is the thing that I am most focused on. And I hope that is what becomes my full-time focus going forward. So I thought a lot about it, recently, like I said, because up until basically right before I resigned, I pretty much was like all in on Movies Plus. So it was a little bit of a jarring moment where I had to recalibrate, figure out what I'm going to do next. And then my mother-in-law passed away, and yeah, it was just, it was a lot. So anyways, evaluating over the last month, what could I do that I think would be the best use of my time? And I just keep coming back to Bitcoin mining. And I think it's really cool that, we all obviously know how valuable Bitcoin is and everything like that. And it's, the next greatest thing that's gonna save humanity, blah blah blah. I could go on all that stuff that we all know. I'm not gonna go down that road. But I think it's super cool that we can take these natural resources and turn them into energy that then mines Bitcoin. I got to do some digging on it too, because so I was out at doing a site check where we're gonna hopefully place some Bitcoin miners. Um, I mean, we should be in the next couple of months. And I was talking to the gas provider, and the gas provider, said, "Oh yeah, there's people that they sell gas based off of methane from compost or from like waste, manure, and all that." And I was like, "No way!" And I don't know if you guys remember, a handful of years ago, somebody came across and said they were gonna put a they were gonna put together a mining operation off of like pig pig waste. So turning pig poop into Bitcoin mining energy. Um, so I feel as though the opportunities are endless here, just because the more I'll be in the field, the more I'll be talking to people, the more I'll be hearing about these different types of opportunities, and the more I'll be like able to kind of jump on something. Whereas before, I guess, because I've been pursuing this for a while, but I was, so consumed with Movies Plus, stuff like that probably would go to the wayside. Um, and yeah, so it's looking promising that, and I think I feel a sense of happiness to be potentially working in Bitcoin, like being my main focus. I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. So we've got one site. We've got potentially a couple more. And I'm working. If you guys know Bob Burnett, he Barefoot Mining. He was on this podcast many times. Was recently on the What Bitcoin Did podcast a couple months ago. So we'll be working together on this project to take energy, natural gas out of the ground and turn it into Bitcoin, and then put that on your BitBox02 hardware wallet. But yeah, so that's what's going on in the Bitcoin world for me. Having hath come and gone, and I see a lot of miners are having to turn off. I mean, my miner had to turn off in my house on the grid because it instantly became not profitable. So you have to keep an eye on that. If you're a miner, the hash price now, which I think you have to basically be at like an electrical rate of 6 cents per kilowatt or less, which I was like barely breaking even at the old before the halving. With the price, is still hanging around in the 60s and kind of dipsy doodling and doing its thing. I mean, it's so much closer to the all-time high than before the last halving. But it is interesting to me because I remember the last halving, it kind of hung around for a little bit, didn't have like a super big bull run. I want to say it was like hitting like $10,000 a Bitcoin at some point that summer of 2020. Actually, I remember it specifically because it was summer of 2020. I was golfing with my dad, and I know it was 2020 because because of COVID, they had the pool noodles in the holes on the golf course, so that you didn't have to reach that far in to get the golf ball. I guess I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna be this time around. Let's just say hopefully this bull run it maybe hits 100K. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Um, Anything above and beyond that is great. And like I always say, my recommendation is if the price of Bitcoin is less than $10 million in purchasing power circa 2009, then it's on sale. And let me tell you, it is on sale. I should do an example sometime of things you could buy in 2009. Like, how many Lamborghinis could you buy for $10 million in 2009? And how much money would it take for you to be able to buy that many Lamborghinis today? We should call it the Cory scale. I don't know. There was log scale. That's what I was thinking about. And then there's the other guy. I blocked him, I think. Plan B. So we can call this Plan C. Plan Cory. Just to sit there and figure out, what the purchasing power, because that's what it should be. The price. Because I always say circa $10 million. If it's less than $10 million, circa 2009 purchasing power, that is always that's what I tell people. It's on sale if it is, but gets lost here. So I should do that. I should update it so that I could say if it's less than $20 million in today's purchasing power, buy it. Because we all know with inflation, and this is one interesting thing that I come across when I talk to people about it. So I'm like, they'll say how much is Bitcoin going to be worth someday? And I'm like, it's going to be worth, maybe $100 million. And they'll be like, what? And I'll be like, but a tank of gas is probably going to cost $100. Or, a gallon of gas might be $50 a gallon. I don't know. So yeah, we should figure that out. What the inflation rate is, where we're looking at. Yeah. So anyways, but other than that, I just appreciate you guys hanging with me, and being patient. I haven't had people blowing me up saying, where are episodes? Yeah, it's been a mentally challenging time. And I'm an emotional person, and I wear my emotions on my sleeve. Yeah, it's just hard. If any of you have lost someone in your life, then you know what this is like, but you're just kind of noticing when they're not there. I think it was a week after, or about 2 weeks after she passed, we had my nephew's birthday party, and even my son pointed it out and said that made him sad afterwards. But whenever we would have birthday party at her house, she would light the candles on the cake in the other room and come walking into the dining room singing happy birthday. And it was in the same house, same setup, but it was my sister-in-law coming in with it. And, it was just kind of hard all day to be there without her. Hard to adjust to looking at, the house as, oh, that's just where my father-in-law lives. It's not where they both live. It's just difficult. And then we had a party for my kids this past weekend at our house, and both sides of the family were here, and me and my wife both admitted, we said it was kind of hard. It was raining, so a lot of people were in the garage and all in the house, and the garage was mainly her family. Families, they get along, but they just naturally segregate. And it was, so they were there and I kept going out, trying to make sure I'm visiting with everybody and stuff. But we both said afterwards, like, yeah, it was kind of tough to be there and not have her there. So I think it's going to be a while before any of us feel normal again. But I'm getting back in the swing of it. I promise I'll be doing this more often. And in the meantime, get yourself a BitBox O2 hardware wallet, and I will talk to you guys later.